Hello, I'm Mickey Moore, the CEO of Holders Records, producer, writer, and singer of the Numonics. And we would like to present to you the memory of the making of the Numonics. I have three other guys here besides myself that was part of the Numonics, and we're going to sit and talk for a while about the Numonics and how they became the Numonics.
President of Holders Records, and in the beginning with the Numonics. I started with the Numonics in 1974. And in December 1974, I met Mickey Moore. And that was the first time we met in the club, the Casuals on the Square. And on our second meeting, he came to the Casuals on the Square and heard my voice. And as he found out, I was also the MC for the Numonics. Third time that we met, he came a couple of days later. He asked me, how could he be a Numonic? And I told him, it's
a slot. And when I went there for that slot, he took me to see the Numonics. And they was actually finishing up rehearsing. And they had me to sit outside in the cold for an hour, and after sitting outside in the cold for an hour, they had me to come and sit another hour behind in an office in the building. And then they finally came to me and said, man, when I heard that you was Mickey Moore, I said, wow, man, is he real? And I just had to find out if he was real or not. And when they came back and told me that they was having an audition the next day and asked me would I show up. And I showed up. I became the fourth Numonic. And they ended up voting me out of the group. I was on the writing team with them, but I ended up just going on my own and just writing and coming up with songs. And some of the songs that I came up with, one was called Rolling, and that was the first song that I did. I actually going out of Texas, and as I wrote the song Rolling, and Rolling. After that, time brings about changes, and then on and on. Before you know it, I had a whole album together, and now I wanted to do some recording. And so when I got back in town, I ended up getting with Sporty, and we started auditioning people. What was the name of that group?
Chosen Few.
We was calling it the Chosen Few. And man, it was a hard job trying to get chosen, get those to become part of it. I mean, it was hard. Yes, it was. It was really hard because, I mean, if they could sing, they couldn't step. If they could step, they couldn't sing. And they couldn't do both of them. Like Marv always said, you can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. And so they couldn't do two things. All they could do was just one thing. And found ourselves, wow, going through changes. And by the time we had ran out of people to audition, the Numonics broke up. And when the Numonics broke up, I called Marvin. And when I called Marvin I asked him to come over. I had wanted to talk to him. And when he came over, I threw $25,000 on my bed and showed him the songs. I said, I want to go into the studio. Could you get Cash and the other guy to come and so we can talk? So they brought him, and when they came, Cash was in agreement, but the other guy wasn't. So we ended up going with just the three of us, and we started looking for that fourth person. And that fourth person was Randy. And when we got Randy, that was the Numonics. And everything before then, I don't consider the Numonics. Because we hadn't recorded anything. And so once we recorded, went in the studio and started recording, then we came up with the album. After the album, did we come up with the record label after we had Bodie's production? And then we came up after that, we came up with the record label, Holders Record. Now, from my understanding, the first black independent record company in Northern California.
Yes.
Rick, you came on with us in 80.
I came to the group in June 1980, and I was recruited by the bass player, Larry Simpson. I was playing a jazz set at the club in Oakland at the time called Dawn and Desert.
Okay.
And he talked to me and told me he was with this group. They were getting ready to tour, and they needed a percussion player, and he was one. So I went and came to the Numonics and came to the studio on 23rd Ave, set my drums up and began to play. And I was very impressed with how hard working the group was. And the group sweated, the group worked hard, the group was diligent. And that's the type of group that I wanted to be a part of, a group that had power. And the Numonics had power. They would rehearse for hours.
Do you remember when in '83 we went back into the studio to record working on our second album in '83. I think we had 83 we had Got to Give Up One More Try, and that one charted. Did good on the charts. Yeah, on Billboard.
Came out 57.
Came out 57 on the Billboard.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you remember after that? I think we did it. That was 83. I think we did a show with Whispers and the Ballads. You remember that?
Very much.
You remember that, Mike? I want you to tell me a little bit what you was doing then when we came out in '83. What was you doing at that time?
Sound and all the vocal videos, and then we hit the road up I guess MCing and / production and steps in on stage.
Well, could you do me one favor? Could you bring the Numonics out, please?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike, and I'm going to be your MC for the night. And hold on to your seat and don't let your lady's hair fly away, because I got something real important that I want to say. We got 4 young men backstage that I know so well. They go by the name of Vicky, Marvin, David, and Randy. They got Step Swell, and they got, they said they sing as sweet as candy. So enough of this.
Even though I got more.
Yeah, even though I got more.
It's time
for the Numonics show.
Mm-hmm.